Hey, so there was no mention of 9/11 on the New York Times yesterday. Isn't that interesting? The city where the attack occurred, Twin Towers down, 3,000 people killed, the worst attack on America since Pearl Harbor, and no mention of it in the New York Times. Now, I know some of the naysayers are going to say, Carl, it's been 20 years. Isn't it time to get over it? Well, is it time to get over it, considering that they still have the rituals that they have every year and naming the names of all of those that died? They still have the 9/11 memorial, even though that's getting ready to close. Guys, I'm here to tell you there are specific reasons why I believe they did not mention, the New York Times did not mention 9/11 anymore. All right. We can't be caught off guard again by real terrorists that want to kill us. But that's one of the reasons. But another reason why the New York Times didn't mention the 9/11 attacks, I believe, is because it talks about it. You remember American unity and you remember American masculinity and heroism. I think those are a threat to the left of today. They hate unity between Americans. There are things that are bigger than the political parties. There are things that are bigger than Republican and Democrat. There are issues that bind us together. And in times of crises, guess what? We're no longer Democrat or Republicans. We are Americans. And remembering 9/11 helps us to remember that. We also remember the men and women, but mostly the men, the masculinity, the heroism that the left wants to disregard. That men can be strong and they can be good. And oftentimes those good men exist inside of police uniforms and firefighter uniforms. And the left does not want you to remember that in lieu of their defund the police, right? Also, you have to consider this. When the left observes 9/11, they look weak. All you have to do is look at what's happened. Look at what's happening at our borders where we have no idea who's flooding into our country. You look at the debacle, the surrender, the retreat of Afghanistan last year when the Biden administration and the left wanted a photo op, and instead they set the world on fire with that Afghanistan debacle. As a result, you have Russia on the march against Ukraine. You have Xi Jinping on the march. You have North Korea gaining strength again, feeling emboldened. It's absolutely insane. Oh, let's not mention that the left thinks we deserve 9/11. They think we deserve it. They think that America is an evil country. So this is perhaps some of the reasons that the left doesn't want to talk about 9/11 anymore, and why the 9/11 is no longer on the front pages of the New York Times. And let's not forget, what did 9/11 represent? Real terrorists, real threat against Americans, not J6 protesters, many of whom were allowed into the nation's capital by police officers on site. See, the left doesn't want you to remember that there are real terrorists out there, not these mostly peaceful protesters that just thought, yeah, the election seemed kind of weird, this year in 2020, much like Hillary Clinton claimed in 2016. The election just seemed a little funny. All right, guys, I'm Carl Jackson, and I'm out.